last upload, actually, it wasn't really an entry. I talked about how selfish I've been to specifically two of my friends. And bad news, I guess, bad news. I have not gotten to talk to them yet, but I did tell them that I needed to talk to them about something really important soon, because I'm still gathering my thoughts, because I'm not really I don't usually, like, whenever I confront people about stuff, I usually confront them through text, but this time I want to change, right? So I was like, I'll go confront them in the way that they prefer. So I asked them how would they prefer it, and they said calling would be much more good to be doing any talking. I don't usually do that because I find I'm much calmer and much more, like, my brain is just much more organized whenever it's through chat, whenever it's texting, because I can actually think about what I'm typing out, right? But when I'm talking, it's kind of like I get a little bit messy. I don't know, but so that's why I'm kind of preparing. I'm like setting up like a Google Doc, like a guide for me to talk to them so that it's not messy, because if there's one thing I hate, it's not being able to say the things that I want to say. And that happens a lot of times. I always struggle to say what I want to say. I know I have a whole YouTube channel for talking, right? But most of the time, a lot of what I want to say does not come out. That's why I never usually watch back on my videos, because I just know that if I do, I'm going to find like one thing I said and fucking regret the fact that I did not bring up something else that I was thinking at the time, but then just suddenly didn't say. There's a lot of things, like, in a lot of my entries, there are a lot of things that I wanted to say that were left unsaid because I'm so bad at talking. I don't know, I just get like caught up in the moment, and like that just messes me up, where it's like I just don't remember anything of what I'm supposed to say. Talking now, I probably have some things that I was going to say previous to when I hit the record button, but now I don't know, right? Because I'm in the moment and I forgot, you know? So yeah, that's the update about that. I went to my psychiatrist and I didn't talk about it, but we started an assessment on my ADHD. I do tell people that I do have ADHD because in the Philippines, they quite literally assessed me for ADHD, found me positive for ADHD, and gave me medicine. But because the medicine wasn't compatible with my body, which, by the way, wasn't even a valid like case, sort of, because in the Philippines, it was summer, it was really hot. I did not know if what made me pass out was the heat or the medicine, but my mom just said, oh, it's probably the medicine. So then we just said it was the medicine. Honestly, there wasn't enough like evidence or enough like investigation behind that. So I would say that was like, so they just put me off of ADHD meds entirely, which I fucking hated, by the way, because no one in my family, no adult in my life has ever taken my ADHD seriously. They just think, oh, you can live without it. I mean, you have been doing that, right, since birth. And that's such a fucking stupid mindset, because how do you think I'm going through it? Sheer hard work. I don't want to have my life on hard mode because you refuse to acknowledge that I have ADHD, which isn't a disorder, by the way. I fucking hate that it's labeled as a mental disorder. But anyways, I got assessed for that, and they made me like write like checklist shit. And my next meeting with them, they're gonna like ask me about stuff and like see what kind of meds would be best for me. So I'm glad about that, right? And then something happened Sunday and Monday. It was Sunday night. I was on the way home from eating out with my dad, and it was pretty fucking late. It was really fucking late, actually, but it was, I say like really fucking late, but it's like the latest I've been out. It was like 8 p.m, 30 p.m like ish, and when I was crossing the road, at the end of like the road, you know, at the end of the crosswalk, there's this guy. He was working at the time and he was like surrounded by his coworkers, and he was like, yo, that person's hair is really cool, really beautiful. And I was like, wonder who that could be. So I was like kind of power walking because I wanted to get away from my dad. I don't know why at the moment I did, but I low-key forgot. But anyways, I was trying to get away from my dad. I was power walking. So then while power walking, I look behind me and I see this guy looking at me. First of all, he's really fucking cute. My type, tall. And he was looking at me, right? And then when I turned around, he said, yo, your hair is really beautiful. And I was like, thank you. And then he said some other stuff which fuck my life. I keep forgetting details of my life. I keep forgetting what people say to me. I should not, because I'm in Japan and I don't speak the language fluently. It would really help if I would lock in sometimes, but he said something else. And the rest of the way home, I freaked the fuck out because cute guy talking to me. It wasn't even, he didn't even technically talk to me, and we didn't even technically meet. He just saw me on the street and said, your hair is really cool. So on the way home, I was freaking the fuck out because, you know, cute guy talking to me. And also, this was the first ever quote-unquote action I've had in weeks, months even. I have not had, there's this specific feeling in Tagalog that is kilig. I guess like the direct translation is like fluster, like being flustered or becoming shy. I have not felt kilig in years now, and kilig gives me a lot of serotonin, right? It makes me really happy. That was like the first time in for fucking ever. And noting the fact that like the whole week prior to that, I was so fucking like bored out of my mind. That little thing of him complimenting my hair just absolutely freaked me out. And so the next day, it was my grandmother's birthday, so we went out late again. I purposefully went home alone at a specific time. You can guess when, right? 8:30 p.m. to, by chance, maybe meet this guy again. I did. And he recognized me and talked to me. So, but at the time, I was very flustered and I didn't actually expect to meet him. So I messed up any type of dialogue I could have had with him. He like recognized me and was like, yo, hello, you know, and we chatted a bit. But it was mostly him talking because I did not expect to meet him there. After that interaction, because he was working, he was still working, he was on duty. After that interaction, I just imagined everything else I could have said, every word I could have worded differently, every response I could have responded. Don't get me wrong, that made me freak out again. I was freaking out. My adrenaline was so high. I was literally shaking by the time I got home. I had to slap myself out of it, like physically slap myself out of it, because it was so high. And so when I got home, I had to rant to my friend. I had to vent to my friend and tell her about it, because I noticed that whenever something good happens to me like this and my feelings are so way high up, I tend to hate myself for it. Like, I tend to hate myself for feeling that type of way, you know? And so I was like, the whole time talking to my friend, I was like, I hate these feelings. I want these feelings to go away. I wish I was just nonchalant and shit so that I could just not feel ever. And she told me, like, that's kind of like, I noticed with you that you kind of tend to self-sabotage whenever something really good is happening. You tend to like try to shut down your feelings in advance because you don't want to get disappointed. Because I also opened up to her before that, you know, sometimes I would expect so much. Like, I'd have my expectations so high and I'd be so happy about something, but then something just comes and crushes it and I just feel so depressed by the end of it. And so she kind of connected those feelings I had with this and was like, I think you're doing the same thing. I think you're just like you're quote unquote protecting yourself in advance so that you do not have that crash. And I was like, can you stop? And I realized that too, because I was freaking out, right? I was really trying to convince myself like to not have these type of feelings, because honestly I still feel it sometimes, like, because he just thinks my hair is cool and he only like remembered me because of my hair. No one, you rarely see anyone in Japan with a full head of purple hair, right? And I'm still trying to convince myself that it was nothing and that I'm not gonna remember that every Sunday and Monday at 8:30 p.m. he's going to be out and about doing his work and I can go talk to him at Sunday, Monday, 8:30 p.m. I'm not gonna remember that, right? I'm not. But it's just so sad because when nothing happens in my life, I'm like so bored and I'm like so depressed because I want something to happen. But then whenever something does happen, I try to shut it down. I try to shut my feelings down as much as possible because I don't want to expect and I don't want my feelings to just crash down when that expectation isn't met. So that's where I am right now. I did my makeup today. I think it's pretty cool. It's like kind of doyin, but I don't really know how to do doyin. My bangs are also getting really long. I might cut them, but I don't know because I found like if I do my hair like this and then I like take some hair and put it in front of my face, it makes me look really good. And honestly, it's holding up well, like that type of hairstyle. It's been doing well for me, but like it's such a pain to do every single time. I don't want to have to do it every single day. And now like whenever I do my hair like without it, I feel ugly just going out like this. So it's like, should I just cut bangs? But anyways, I've taken up too much time. I was gonna sing today, but then I realized, hey, I haven't done an entry in a while. I'm gonna go do an entry. Also, I chatted my ex. They seem to be doing well without me, so anyways, hope y'all are doing well. I guess I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you have a good night.